We just got some big info about ESG Football 24, the next football game coming out that a ton of people are excited about. Now, I did a video on this game a couple of weeks ago on the channel. A lot of people just found out about it for the first time, but a lot of people have been following the development of this game for the past year. Now, to basically sum this up quickly to catch you up to speed if you're not familiar, this is a new simulation-based game that is planning to hit the market pretty soon. It is not simulation in the same way that you think of NFL Sundays. It's not going to look like Madden or NFL 2K5, but it is a simulation-based game in terms of how the game plays. It's physics-based, it's real player movement, and from the clips and the trailers we've seen, the gameplay actually looks really smooth. But the big idea for this game is to make it more of an open world like NBA 2K. So mix simulation gameplay with playing in an open world environment where you're not playing with real NFL teams. However, I do think there could be real players in the game potentially because real NFL players and former NFL players like LaShawn McCoy are backing this game. Pretty much ESG Football 24 aims to deliver something we've never seen in the football gaming space, which I think is good. I know a lot of people want another simulation game like an NFL 2K to come back, something with NFL Sundays and the franchise mode and the depth and all of that. But obviously with EA being the only person that can put out a simulation NFL game to that degree, we're not going to get another game like that in the market, but there are different competitors coming into the marketplace more and more every year now to give us different experiences. We got Maximum Football that we're waiting on. Obviously, we know NCAA football is coming back soon, which everybody's excited about. Wild Card Football just released not long ago, and they're kind of attacking the full-on arcade space that we have not had since like an NFL Blitz or an NFL Street. With ESG Football 24, they're kind of merging it in a way that we just haven't seen before. If you watch the clips on the screen, you can see that this is simulation gameplay. This is really good player movement, and obviously it's just trailers. We haven't seen the actual in-game gameplay yet, but this looks like very smooth player movement, very high motion capture, good physics, and at the end of the day, it kind of depends on the type of football gamer you want. Some people care more about the gameplay than the NFL logos and franchise mode. Some people care more about the franchise mode aspect of things, but if you're a gameplay guy, and especially if you're a guy that likes NBA 2K's My Park or My City, or that kind of free roam aspect where you can customize players and you can play with other human opponents on your team, this really might be the game for you. This game is going to be 7-on-7 and 11-on-11, all user control, no AIs. I think the only issue you run into where you might have an AI is if somebody drops out of a game, but you're not going into games with AI players. Now, I do think this game is going to live much more as a 7-on-7 game versus 11-on-11. I think for football, that's just more practical. I think 7-on-7 is the style that's going to work best for this game, but the fact that 11-on-11 is possible is something else we also have not seen in a football game to my knowledge, where you can have 11 user-controlled players versus another 11 user-controlled players, which is pretty cool. Now, just yesterday, they finally released the player builder for this game, which is something people have been waiting for. So again, if you're familiar with NBA 2K and the player builder, that's kind of the vibe they're going with on this game. This game is about creating your own player to your liking and actually being able to customize him to make him exactly the way you want, to have the skill sets that you want, and you can create him, to mimic whoever your favorite athlete is in real life. Now, we're going to get into that player builder and break it down a little bit in just a second, but really quickly, I do want to mention that this video is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. Once again, they've been a huge supporter of the channel. They're the best fantasy app out there, but my favorite thing about them is their pick'em game, which I love to play when I'm watching football. Basically, all you have to do is pick 2 or more guys to go higher or lower on a wide variety of different stats like passing yards, catches, rushing attempts, whatever. And if you think you know football, this is easy money. But the best part about Underdog Fantasy is if you sign up using my code RAY, R-A-Y, they're going to give you a free pick at sign up whenever you sign up, and they're going to also double your first deposit up to $100. So you can get $100 free in your account to play with and then turn that into real winnings. For this Thursday night game, it's going to be Bryce Young to get a single yard. That's the free play. All he has to do is get literally a single yard and you win. And if you sign up after Thursday and you want to play for Sunday or Monday, it'll be a different free play, usually a quarterback to get a single yard. So they're just going to help you right out the gate to get some easy money. Again, make sure to sign up using my promo code RAY so that you also get that deposit match up to $100. You can't beat free money. Now, here is a look at the ESG player builder. Now, these were given to some other creators that have gotten early access to the game, so I'm not going to really show a whole bunch of clips here. I'm just going to link their videos below in the comments. We've got Jarisco right here, who is kind of big in the community for Madden in terms of game modes like the Yard in the past, and then also Superstar Showdown this year, so he's kind of more familiar with building players. But as you can see here, this player builder is way more in depth than anything we have in Madden. This actually lets you customize your player down to a T. height, weight, a bunch of different skills, and you also have skill sets, as you could see, that you can add, and the skill sets are color coordinated to the position. So like there's certain skill sets that's going to be for a wide receiver or a defensive player or a quarterback, and they're kind of color coded that way so that you can see. You can add skill sets to bump your speed up, to bump your route running up, and things like that. So I'm going to link his video below if you want to watch him break down the full builder from that aspect to it. But again, if you're familiar with NBA 2K, you can see that that's basically what this is, that you can customize your player down to every last minute detail, versus what we have currently in Madden is just like an overall player builder where you can customize it a bit, but nothing like this. Now here's another YouTuber that goes by the name of SGN Hub. Again, I'll have him linked in the description, and he's kind of just showing off the different badges that are in game. So again, if you're familiar with NBA 2K badges, you know what badges are. These are kind of similar to abilities in Madden. I would say a little less overpowered than the ability system in Madden, but basically these are things that you can put on your player that's going to make them a little more proficient in certain things. So again, pretty similar to abilities, maybe not as overpowered as the ability system actually is in Madden, but you could see a bunch of different abilities based on different position groups here. And again, I will link the full video below where he kind of goes through all of them, so you can go check that out and support their content. And really quickly, if you don't want to miss out on any of the future information surrounding this game or some of the upcoming games like the NFL 2K arcade game or the NCAA college football game, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on. That way you never miss any of these important videos or the gameplay that's released for these games when it drops. Now, I know a lot of people have seen stuff on this game over the past year, and a lot of people think the game isn't real or it isn't coming out. And look, at the end of the day, this is all the info we have to go off of. We know the people who are making the game. We know that real NFL players are backing it. LaShawn McCoy, Cameron Jordan, and a few others, they've come out and spoken about the game. So there's actually real money and time being invested into this game. Obviously, we've seen a lot of games come up and then never see the light of day. You know, that could always happen. There's no guarantee that any game comes out. Even from big companies, sometimes we see games that aren't out. I mean, heck, we're still been waiting 4 years for NCAA football. We've been waiting almost 4 years for the new NFL 2K game to come out. And while we know that those games will eventually come out, we've been waiting a long time for them, and even those still aren't out yet. So sometimes games do come up, they get a lot of development, and they don't get released, and that's always a possibility. But as of right now, everything we have to go off of says that this game will be coming out pretty soon. A beta should be released soon for people to try out and give feedback on. And hey, I'm all for trying new games. Even if this isn't maybe your cup of tea, it's not pure NFL football. This is something new we've never had in the space, and I think there's a place to try these new games and to try different ways to play football in a video game setting. And I think this is something, to me personally, I think I would love a lot. 7-on-7, user-on-user, full customization. It's just not something we've had. And on top of that, it is going to be a free-to-play game. There will be microtransactions for cosmetic stuff. They did say it won't be a situation where you can pay to actually make your player better, which I think is a good move. We'll see how long that lasts, because, you know, as time goes on, sometimes that could change. But as of right now, it's meant to be free to play, microtransactions only for cosmetic stuff. So I think that's a good plan that they have in place right now, and we'll just see how it goes as we get closer to release. Now, if you want to find out some more in-depth information about the game and what they're going for, you can check out this video that I did recently right here on the screen.